Hey guys, it's XJ9's here, and I'm making this video. I probably should have made this video yesterday, but I was a bit tired, and I was like, eh. And it's about the new item changes in this game, League of Legends. And I only played one game so far, as in it was just a bot game, just to get the feel, because I think it's important to get the feel of something before you actually play, because then it's kind of griefing. Um, it felt really, really nice. The item shop was interesting. I don't think it was that complicated to use. I think it's, like they said, intuitive. So, I mean, I'm just gonna get right into the things because that's kind of another topic. Maybe I'll just talk about then. And so we have new item shop, new items. Item shop's cool. We're not really gonna talk about the item shop. It's just kind of self-explanatory. We're gonna talk about the items themselves. Okay. So pretty much now in League of Legends, there's mythic items and legendary items. And mythic items are essentially you can only build one of them, and they pretty much are the core of your build. And legendary items are going to be what pretty much the finished item of everything else. And I've already read all this, and I think it's probably better because I'll get through it faster. Uh, so we're gonna talk about again the first item they talk about are like 80 carry items, not so much jungle items, but I'll talk about them anymore. So what does it give? 55 AD, 20% attack speed, 20% crit chance. Big thing to note is that all these items pretty much give 20%, crit chance. They give pretty much cookie cutter stats. The biggest thing about is the effect. So maybe I'll just talk about the effect honestly. Uh, Dash in target direction, firing 3 missiles at the lowest health enemy near your destination. Prioritizing champions. Deal a total of 180 to 315 damage, depending on level. 45% bonus AD, magic damage increased against low health targets by up to 50%, 90-second cooldown. Grants all legendary items 3% movement speed. So that's a very interesting choice for being mobile, and it's mostly a marksman thing. Although it can be a jungler thing, as in like Kindred can build it. Being able to dodge the skull shots is really nice, against like a Zoe or something, which can be really nice. I also always wonder the the active itself because like an active can be look good on paper, but if how it the actual ranges like max range and everything is very important. So overall, it sounds nice. Kraken Slayer. Again, cookie cutter stats, just pretty much 80 attack speed. Every third basic attack deals an additional 60 plus 30% bonus AD true damage. Grants all other legendary items 10% attack speed. So this is a very attack speed oriented type of item. It could also be good with like Ginso's Rage Blade, which we haven't talked about yet, but it would be. Uh, Very interesting item. Again, I don't know. There's nothing else to say about that. Amora Shiba is actually one of the ones I actually really like because I like tankiness. So this one gives a bit less AD, a bit less attack speed, same crit chance, and lifesteal. And when taking damage, I would reduce you below 3% HP, gain a 250 to 700 HP shield, levels 10 through 18, not levels 1 through 18. That's important to remember. So if you rush this item, the shield won't be that strong. It's probably well, the thing is, you kind of, because you don't have to build a mythic item right away. That's the important thing to know. But you usually should be. However, that's just an important thing to know is that if there is ever like a champion that might do better with a few items or a small item and then a mythic item or like a legend item and then a mythic item, which is possible. It's more to note that's levels 10 through 18. Additionally, gain 50% life steal for 8 seconds. So it's also important to note that the life steal is only for 8 seconds because before bloodline effects like with Serix and Maw, well, no, Maw actually, only Maw. It used to last until end of combat, and that was kind of abusive in some cases, and sometimes you didn't want that, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, I guess they're putting more, fine lines of power because that's kind of important to do. Grant all other legendary items 5 attack damage and 50 HP. So this is a really interesting option to be tanky. So it's pretty interesting because again, it's lifesteal and crit chance. Like this might be a good choice on a range jungler as well, just because they kind of want to be tanky because they're kind of like expected to be the roamer. So pretty interesting. I would definitely keep an eye on this item. Sunfire Aegis is an absolutely insane item. Pretty much Sunfire Cape stats, except it gives a bit less armor. 30. It gives 450 HP, 30 armor, 30 MR. So it's an overall good item. 15 ability haste. Ability haste is pretty much CDR, but it's less. It doesn't stack as well, but it's to make it's pretty much CDR. That's what all you have to think of. Deal. It pretty much has the same Sunfire burn damage, and increases to 50% against minions and 200% against monsters. Damaging champions or epic monsters with this effect adds a stack, increasing subsequent immolate damage by 12% for 5 seconds. So pretty much if you stay on someone, the burn gets stronger and stronger. So this is mostly for people who can stay in the fight, because if you can't, because Sunfire Cape has, unless they changed it, it ticks every like few, I think like a second or so. And if you walk out during that 1 second, you don't get any damage. So you have to pretty much stay on top of the enemy champion. I am really encourages that, because once you get those stacks, that's a lot of damage. And also, it's another passive. Sorry, at maximum immolate stacks, your basic attacks burn nearby enemies for your immolate damage per second for 3 seconds. So this also stacks, I think, with immolate itself. So it can be double burn. So it can make a champion like Sejuani, a champion like Zac, very threatening. It also gives ability haste, and that was a big thing because, a Sejuani could build, a Cinder Hulk, but they wouldn't have CDR, so that's really nice. Grant all other legendary items 5 ability haste, so that's a lot of CDR. Again, you need to finish the items to get the 5 ability haste per item. So this is a very, very powerful item. This is going to be like a pretty much a cookie cutter item for like Zac, for Sejuani. Just pretty much a lot of tanks. Like even fighters. Like the thing with this item is that it's so strong to me that it might be so good on fighters like Rect and Vi. Like maybe Vi. Vi is always weird because whenever you build tank Vi is always garbage, but it just might do so much damage that building a tank Vi might be viable because of the other items as well. Set it might be strong on and stuff. So I mean, this is probably gonna be what people build on set anyway. Because I typically always did an 80s set, but um, like with a warrior instead of a Cinder Hulk. But a lot of sets will probably build this item. Frostfire Gauntlet. Pretty much the same. Emulate uh, passive. It gives 350 HP, 50 armor, 25 MR. Important thing to note is that this gives 20 more armor and 5 less MR. So the 5 MR is not really a big deal. It gives 20 more armor, which is kind of big, and they cost the same. So, yeah, pretty interesting. So this is more like the utility slash a bit more tanky, but it's not good on a lot of champions. Basic attacks create a slow zone for 1.5 seconds, 4-second cooldown. Enemies that move across the zone are slowed by 30%, plus 4% per 1000 max HP. Grants all legendary items 100 health, increases your champion model by 7.5. So, best case scenario, this item can give you like 400 extra HP, which is pretty nice. Um, so the important thing to note is that it doesn't do damage on hit, like because it's not like the Frost Gauntlet or Iceborne Gauntlet. Um, this item's interesting because, well, it doesn't get mana, so it kind of makes it so it's more viable than other champions. But like a champion on set, it wouldn't really be that good because, well, he kind of CCs you. I mean, I don't know, not really. Sejuani, she already has slows, so I don't know why it would be good. I think it's better to get the other item. It's a very interesting item. I'm not quite sure who would be good on. I mean, it's probably better on top laners that consistently trade and can, you know, I was like, by that I mean like to maneuver, because it's slowing the enemy can actually be a huge tool. Junglers already have smite, chilling smite if they get that and stuff. So I think it's more so a top laner item. I don't really think it's more of a jungle item. It might be. I mean, you never know if there might be some wonky ass build again with some tank. Like it can be good on a champion like I don't know Jarvan maybe. Because he can knock you up, then slow you, and then save his W to slow you, something like that. Turbo Chem Tank. 350 HP, 25 armor, 50 MR. So important thing to note about this, and 15 bully haste. Important thing to note about this is that it's more of the MR option of tanks, and it again has the same immolate passive. So there's pretty much 3 different types of Sunfire Cubes. Grants 75% movement speed towards enemy champions or turrets for 4 seconds. So an important thing to know, it's also for turrets, so maybe that can lead to some interesting play. Once near an enemy or after, also wonder if it works against dead turrets. That's important to know as well. Once near an enemy or after 4 seconds, a shockwave is emitted that slows nearby enemies by 40% for 2 seconds, 90-second cooldown. Grant all other legendary items 5% tenacity and slow resist. So this is really if they have a mass CC team, it can be good on a lot of tanks. It can even be good on a champion like Set that's to catch up to people. Again, it doesn't have a lot of armor though. That's important to note. But if they have a double AP comp, that can be huge. If they have a comp that's really like disengage heavy, this can really be useful. So yeah, it's a pretty solid item. Display of Drakthar. 55 AD, 18 lethality, 20 ability haste, and attacking a champion deals an additional 100 to 30% bonus 80 physical damage and slows them by 99%. So pretty similar to the other item. 15-second cooldown. When a champion that you've damaged within the last 3 seconds dies, the cooldown is refreshed and you become invisible for 1.5 seconds. Grant all other legendary items 5 ability haste. So this item is pretty solid. It there's been some abuse cases with like Twitch and stuff, but I don't know. This is an item where you need to see how it plays because it can sound extremely powerful, but like you need to kill the target and like you know it is really kind of depends. But it might be a broken item. It's either broken or a good item. Like it's not bad. So yeah, I gotta see what happens with that. Eclipse. Eclipse helps assassins weave in and out of fights. Oh, I'm not reading. I'm not reading that. I read that before when I first read this. Attack damage. 55 AD, 18 lethality, 10% Omnivamp. That's important to note. So compared to like this item, it doesn't give ability haste. It gives Omnivamp, and pretty much the stats are the same. Yeah, it's just an Omnivamp option. Hitting a champion with 2 separate base attacks or abilities within 1.5 seconds deals an additional 8% max health physical damage, grants you 30% movement speed and a 150 40% bonus AD for melee champions, or yeah, for whatever, for range, you already know. Shield for 2 seconds, 6-second cooldown for melee champions, 12-second for range champions. Grant all other legendary items 4% armor penetration. Um, it's pretty interesting because it's like this item can be potentially very good on Vi, but Vi's passive with her W, like stacking the armor pen in the way where it's like you minus it by like 20% with whatever her W, and then it's a minus, let's say. Well, it doesn't really matter that much because that's kind of a late game thing, but like I don't know. It can be very strong on Vi, for example, because Omnivamp would be very solid on Vi. Like, it gives a lot of stats she wants. It's just that Mythic thing is kind of whatever. However, Vi has a big movement speed problem, and being more tanky and also being able AD is very solid. So this is a very, very solid item. It can also be very solid for Set as well. Like what else? Steel tissue. Like the thing is that we haven't talked about Trinity Force yet, but like this item might be very good on a lot of champions you wouldn't think it would be. Like maybe it would even be good on. Well, I'm not sure about Hecarim, but on Set it might be very solid just because he has his passive, and you know I like building more AD focused Set. So I don't know. It's kind of like I'm kind of storing things out there. So yeah, Prowler's Claw, 5580, 21 lethality, 10 ability haste, a bit more offensive. Dash through target enemy, dealing 100 to 30% bonus AD physical damage. For the next 3 seconds, you deal 50% increased damage to target, 60-second cooldown. Grant all other legendary items 5 lethality. So this is a very, very offensive lethality item. Again, it's hard to judge the active because I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure what the range is to actually use it. I'm not sure how far back you go from behind the target, like if it's at distance or you're always right behind them. I don't know. However, it sounds very strong. It's very bursty. It's more so for champions that maybe want a second. Like again, you have to target the enemy, so maybe they want a second jump. Like it might be very good on like a Rengar, like you know it depends on that how the active works. But the important thing to note is that it's it's kind of like Deathfire Grass for ADs, which is very interesting. They actually brought an item like this back because I wonder if it's going to be unhealthy or not. The thing about it though is that you dash to the target, you can't just use it. So it's kind of weird to use it first, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Leandri's Anguish, pretty much Leandri's. 80 ability power, 600 mana, 20 ability haste. The 600 mana is a big budget, so it's, I'm not sure about junglers, but Lily probably wants to be able to sell. Dealing damage with abilities causes enemies burn for 15 plus 2.5% AP plus 1% max health magic damage per second for 4 seconds. Gain 5% magic penetration per second against burning targets, up to 25%. Grant all other legendary items 5 ability haste. So yeah, this item is pretty insane on already like Leonard users. Like Lilia would be insane. Gives pen, so you don't even need to like build any magic pen on Lilia. You can even just go. Well, sorcerers just gains a lot of value, and the fact that the fact that it also scales with AP is pretty good. Because if say you have 100 AP, you get 2.5 more percent more damage. 2.5 damage, not 2.5%, 2.5. So it would be 17.5 damage plus 1% max HP. Important thing to know is that you don't need a CC to target. So a Lilia going in and queuing the whole team into her ultimate, that does a lot of damage. Because of also the magic penetration. So her ult, you know, the damage when they wake up, if you hit them on top of her W, it can make her do a ton of damage. So yeah, this item is pretty freaking insane on users that can use Leandri's very, very well. And grant all the legendary items 5 ability haste, just very, very strong item overall. Luden's Tempest, 80 ability power, 10 magic penetration, 600 mana, 10 ability haste. But let me make sure I'm recording. I am recording. Damaging abilities deals an additional 100, 50% AP magic damage to the target and 3 nearby enemies and grants you 3% movement speed for 2 seconds. Grant all other legendary items 5% magic penetration. So this is a very, it's just like pretty much like Luden's Echo, and but somebody gives you movement speed and gives you magic penetration as the game goes on. And oh yeah, I'm not sure if I said it, but it gives 10 flat magic penetration. So it's for champions, I guess. Maybe even have built-in magic penetration. But again, it has a big mana budget, and it's also a mythic, so you can only build one of these, by the way. So, um, hmm. You still probably wouldn't build like on. This is probably more of a mid lane. I'm not sure about a jungle. I mean, well, it's probably is good like on a lease, compared to this item. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Everfrost slow enemies. 80 ability power, 200 HP. Oh, I also want to note that all these items pretty much cost like 3,000, 3.3, 3.4 thousand gold. 80 ability power, 200 HP, 600 mana, 10 ability haste. Deal 100 to 3% AP, magic damage in a cone, slowing enemies by 65% for 1.5 seconds. Slowing enemies at the center of the cone are rooted instead, 20 second cooldown. That's a very spammable thing. That can be very powerful on certain junglers or roamers, or even just for trading in general. Grants all legendary items 15% ability power. Very interesting. Again, it depends on how big the cone is. I'm not sure how it is. Uh, hmm. It might be very strong overall. Like it might maybe you would even like I don't know. It gives 100 mana though. Like it might be maybe it's gonna Evelyn, probably not though, because Hex Rocket Belt, which we're about to go to, is very strong in Evelyn. So it's maybe more of a laning option. Maybe more of a I don't know. Probably more of a lane thing, honestly. I'm not quite sure. So there's that. Hex Rocket Belt. 80 ability power, 250 HP, 15 ability haste. Dash in a target direction, unleashing arc of missiles. Deal 200, 300 damage, 1 to 18. 50% AP magic damage. Then gains 75 movement speed towards the enemy champion for 2 seconds. That is insane on Evelyn because before sometimes you would use a Hex Tech belt and you were still not in range. But now since it gives movement speed, that's insane. The important thing to note though is that it only gives the movement speed when going towards enemy champions. So if you're running away, it won't help you as much. But that's very strong offensively because you can charm someone, rocket belt, get that extra movement speed, catch up. Grant all the legendary items 5% magic penetration. That's also why it's pretty insane on Evelyn. gives her HP. Like this item is really good. This item is just insane on like fill 6-7. Like this item's insane. So I mean, it could even be good on Zach really, but I think there's probably better items on Zach because I'm not sure about AP Zach anymore honestly because it's kind of whatever. Um, Rift Baker, 80 ability power, 150 HP, 15 ability haste, 15% Omni Vamp. For each second champion combat, deal 3% bonus damage, max of 15%, so 5 seconds. At maximum strength, the bonus damage is dealt as true damage instead. So at best, it can deal 15% bonus true damage through well, it says bonus damage, so I guess that includes autos as well. So that's pretty interesting. So it's not even just magic damage. Grant all the legendary items 5% magic penetration. So for each chicken championship. So yeah, again, this is might be more of like a zero item and more of a like. Is that really? Is it more of a jungle item? Not really. Mm, Omni Vamp's nice though, but yeah, I think it's more of a lane item. I don't know. I don't really play many APs, and the APs I play, you know, mm, I mean, it could be good on Lilia, but I think the other Leandra is better anyway. So it doesn't give mana though, because Lily doesn't really need the mana. So they also get Dami. I don't know. Depends. It might be good on Lilia. Who knows? Honestly. Night Harvester. 80 ability power, 250 HP, 15 ability haste. Okay. Damaging a champion deals 175 to 250. Levels 1 through 18 plus 15% AP magic damage and grants you 25 movement speed for 1.5 seconds. 6-second cooldown per enemy. Grant all other legendary items 5% ability haste. So this item is very interesting because it's a cooldown per. Wait. It's a cooldown per champion. So if you're literally just going in there, running past everyone, you can just go. You can go really fast. So, but it's again, it's 25% movement speed. That's good. It's not super fast, but that's very nice because it means that in big team fights you can get a lot of value off that. It also gives health, which is nice. Um, I don't know about if it's gonna Lily because she already goes fast. So, hmm. Again, it might be more of a like a Diana item. I don't know, something like that. It's more of like a dueling type item, not so much an assassin / control mage item. Training Force is pretty much the same. Just gives you 200 HP, 35 AD, 35% attack speed, 10 ability haste. Base attacks grant 25 movement speed for 3 seconds. If the target's a champion, increase your base attack damage by 6%, stack it up to 5 times, max 30%. So pretty much, I mean, if you already build Training Force, already good. I mean, there's some champions that have high AD ratios, but if they do, they probably do build Training Force. So yeah, base attacks I believe are also the only thing that give you the stacks. So it can be very strong on it might be very strong on Vi as well, just because I mean she has good AD ratios, but there might be better items on Vi. After using an ability, your next basic attack is enhanced with an additional 200% bonus damage, just like Training Force right now. Grant all other legendary items 2% attack speed. Yeah, it's pretty much. It's pretty much is exactly the same. There's not really anything to really think about it. It's really a cookie cutter item. Gore Drinker, pretty interesting item. 400 HP, 45 AD, 150% health regeneration, 20 ability haste. Deal 110 of your attack damage to nearby enemies. Restore health equal to 20% of your attack damage plus 12% of your missing ultra each champion hit. 15-second cooldown affected by ability haste, so that's pretty insane because some of these items can actually be affected by ability haste. So if you have a ton of ability haste, you can spam this like crazy. Gain 1% attack damage for each 5% of your missing health. max 50% AD, and grants all other legendary items 5% ability haste. So yeah, this item is pretty good on like a champion like set. It's good on really a lot of fighters that go in there, get low. It can be very powerful in set just because, well, he can W when he's low and then ult, go back in and use this item. It's very strong, but if someone builds it, you definitely want to build, we call it, we call it Grievous Winds. Wait. Oh, gosh, right. Stride Breaker. 300 HP, 50 AD, 20% attack speed, 10 ability haste. Lunge a short distance and deal 110 of your attack damage to nearby enemies, slowing them by 60%. Decays over 2 seconds. 20-second cooldown, affected by ability haste. That is insane. And because it's not clicking on a target, you can literally lunge anywhere. I'm not sure if you can lunge over walls. You probably can't lunge over walls. But regardless, it's a very strong mobility tool. If you can lunge over walls, wow, but it probably can't. Dealing physical damage grants 30% movement speed for 2 seconds. Important thing to note is that this gives more movement speed than Trinity Force. So it's a very good item if your champion really needs movement speed. Grant all legendary items 3% movement speed. This item, like, I don't know if it'd be good on Hecarim. The movement speed is really nice. Like, the attack speed doesn't really help Hecarim a lot, although it can, but movement speed can be very, very nice. It can be good for when you E on Hecarim, they flash, and then you use this. Like, this item is not, like, it depends on how the active works, but this item can be very solid on a lot of champions. It can be very solid on set, even. Like, if you don't want to sustain, you can build, because if you compare the stats, so it gives ability haste. It still gives ability haste. It gives a lot of movement speed. So that's the biggest problem is you're getting to you. So this this item's like if they have a bunch of like fighters and you just want to sustain, be a big drain tank. This item it's just very powerful on a lot of fighters, like a lot of champions. Like this item's really strong. Um, this item can also be strong in Hecarim. Like getting training force on Hecarim might not always be what you do. You might actually get this. Although Hecarim's really good with training force, so yeah, just an option. Um, this item is just very exciting because I tried out this item. This item is pretty fun to use. Honestly, it helps with clears as well with the builds in. This item though just sounds really fun. Just sounds like you move really really fast. So important thing to note is that you have to actually finish the second item to get the 3% movement speed from this. So yeah, this just looks really good. Divine Sunder anti-tank, 400 health, 40 AD, 20 ability haste. After using an ability, your next basic attack is enhanced with an additional 10% max target's max HP, physical damage, 1.5-second cooldown. If the target is a champion, restore 50% of the damage, 30% for ranged users. Grant all other legendaries 5% magic penetration and 5% armor and magic penetration. So, like, this item can be very insane. Like, if you're against, again, like if you're playing Hecarim and you have a lot of tanky characters, this can be very strong. Like, because it's kind of like Jashin with the 1.5-second cooldown on abilities. And also a drain tank, so that's pretty strong. This item is also a very unique item, but again, it's mostly only really good against tank. So if you're versing Oisin Ornn, this can be very strong. So, the also important thing to note is that it gives hybrid pen. Maybe the hybrid pen was there for. That's very interesting. It has hybrid pen. I don't know why it has hybrid pen, but I mean, Hecarim likes it. It only gives AD. It's not like it gives AP. Hmm. I don't know. Overall, it's very very interesting. It gives hybrid pen. So yeah, I mean, pretty much you're only building in tanks. Not many people play tanks, so Shirley's battle song and support items. I don't really read. I don't really care about the support items. Ugh, I guess I'll read it. 350 HP, 20% ability haste, 5% movement speed, 50% mana regen. Against your allies, 40% decay movement speed for 4 seconds, and additional 40 to 60 allies level 1 through 18, not your level, allies level. Magic damage on the next 3 basic attack or ability hits against champions, 9 second cooldown. So that's a lot of damage. That's a very strong item. in general, just because with abilities it procs the damage. Grants all legendary items 2+5% movement speed. I'm not gonna talk about the super. I'm just gonna talk about the item. That just sounds insane. Lock of the Iron Solari. 200 HP, 20% ability haste, 30 armor, 30% MR. Grants nearby allies a 250 to 420 again, it's ally level shield. The king over 2.5 seconds. 9-second cooldown. Grants nearby enemy champions 5 armor and magic resist. So that's also interesting because it also helps everyone get tanky. So if you're versing assassins, this is really the go-to item for it. The other item's pretty much a more offensive item. Grants all legendary items to a 2 armor and magic resist increase to consecrate. So yeah, this is really the go-to if they have a ton of assassins. Moonstone Renewer, 40 AP, 200 HP, 20 ability haste, 100% mana regen. When affecting enemy champions' base attacks or abilities in combat, restore 30 to 60 allies level 1 through 18. Remember, it's always allies, so if you're going like mid, you can help someone. Health to the most wounded nearby ally. 2-second cooldown. Each second spent in combat with champions increases this of healing effect by 3.5%, maximum 150%. Grant all the legendary items 5% ability haste. So yeah, this item's pretty insane for long engages. Like if you can peel well and don't need that tankiness, this is a really insane item. If you see this item build on support, you probably do want to build a Grievous Swoon item because that's a lot of healing. Imperial Mandate, 40 ability power, 200 health, 20 ability haste, 100% mana regen. Abilities that slow or immobilize a champion deals 60 to 100 bonus magic damage. Levels 1 through 18. Also, this is about I believe it's about your level, not allies, because it doesn't say allies, so I'm guessing it's your level. And mark them for 4 seconds. Oh, that kind of makes sense. But, yeah. Uh, ally champions damage detonate the mark, dealing an additional 60. Oh, yeah. I don't understand because it makes sense anyway. But yeah, now this part is ally damage. Deals additional 60 to 100 allies level 1 through 18 magic damage, and granting you both 20% movement speed for 2 seconds. 6-second cooldown per enemy. Grant all other legendary items 50% ability power. So very strong on a champion. So parts can be very strong on a champion like Blitz. It's very strong. Well, it gives 8 ability power as well. So yeah, this is like a Blitz, a Thresh item. This is like a big offensive item where you want to get picks and you don't fight anything else. So yeah, stat updates are talk about ability haste. Just works like CDR. Don't think about it too much. Vamp effects, yeah. So there's Omni Vamp. It just heals through everything. Physical Vamp includes physical damage and autos and lifesteal. Uh, lifesteal now includes on hit effects, which is very important to note because before, I believe the Rune King used to the passive on hit used to lifesteal. It was like the only thing that really lifestealed with the on hit effect, but now now everything does. So that's important to know as well. critical strike damage got lowered, and yeah, they pretty much this is pretty much to make the game more balanced, like easier to balance. So yeah, uh, right. Okay, do legendary names. The Collector, 50 AD, 20% crit chance. This is mostly about AD items at this point with AD carries. 12 lethality. Dealing damage that would leave an enemy below 5% health executes them. Wait. Champion kills grant an additional 25 gold. This is a very snowball item, very all in. I also wonder how it works with champions like Trinimir. Does it actually execute them? Probably wouldn't. Um, this can be very powerful against a champion like Set or like champions that have a lot of health regen. Like this can be very strong against like a Zac, like champions that really like being low and going up high. Champions with big shields when they're low, maybe. It's kind of a very all-in uh type of item. 60. Okay, Navori Quick Blades. Let me look at this. Yeah. Okay, 60, 80, 20%. Well, the important thing about this item, I will say, is that dealing damage. So it's not autos. It's literally anything. So like,
a Misfortune E on a low HP target, even if it's level 1, if it gets them below 5%, they're dead. So that's actually very important to note, is that it has a lot of pick potential potentially. Getting people, because 5%, they have to calculate 5% of their HP as, which can be hard to calculate sometimes. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Again, any ability, like literally anything. Uh, Quick Blades, 60 AD, 20% crit, 30 ability hits. That's a lot of CDR. Your critical strikes with base tech reduce your non-ultimate abilities by 20% remaining cooldown. This item just sounds insane on a champion like Lucian, a champion like, I don't know, maybe Corki. Uh, I always liked Crit Ezreal, but people never did Crit Ezreal. That was back in the day before they really didn't care about. They started not making Ezreal about Crit anymore. It's kind of sad. Um, Overall, it's like I mean, hmm, this could be very strong in Jin because he likes CR. It could also maybe be. It's very interesting with his traps too. Hmm. It just gives a lot of CDR. It's very good for casters. But Jin doesn't attack very fast, but it's very strong in Lucian. That's a definite. Force of Nature, 350 health, 60 MR, 5% movement speed. Literally the go-to MR item. Taking damage from abilities grants you 6 movement speed and 4 magics for 5 seconds, stacks up to 5 times each unique ability instance. So, yeah, it's nice because Force of Nature before was kind of lacking because it wouldn't give you HP, but this is a very solid item for tanks. Like, instead of building a maw, which is more of an offensive, like you can build this. Someone who wants to go in there and really like set. Like this item is probably really good on set. Instead of getting a maw, for instance. Serpent's Fang, 60 80, 18 lethality. Base attacks and abilities deal 50, 40% bonus AD, additional physical damage to shield targets. So this is really anti-shield. So it pretty much kind of even negates shields, like a thresh shield, like a level 1 thresh shield. So again, this is a legend item. So yeah, really, this is the item you should definitely build on an AD champion. Again, it gives lethality if they have a ton of shields. Horizon Focus, 100 ability power. That's all it gives. Damaging a champion with a non-target ability at over 750 range or immobilizing them reveals them and increases damage taken from you by 10% for 6 seconds. How do you immobilize someone from 750 range? I don't know. Lily's ultimate. Well, that's damaging. I'm not sure how you immobilize someone from that far. I don't know. Hmm. That's a really niche item. Let's see for champions like Xerath, Lol Janna, Cosmic Drive. 70 ability power, 200 HP, 30 ability haste. Dealing damage to abilities grants 10 plus 20% ability haste movement speed for 4 seconds. This item just sounds very strong in general on a lot of fighters. Like this can be very strong on Mord. This can be very strong on Diana. Any champion that really wants movement speed. Yeah, this is definitely like a fighter type of item. Demonic Embrace. 70 ability power, 350 HP. Okay, this is one thing. So Eskana Gay. This is one thing I wanted to look at before. So, oh yeah, they're different. Yeah, you can actually stack these items. It just sounds pretty interesting. So, dealing ability damage burns enemies for 1.5% max HP for 4 seconds. Against 10 armor and magic resist while champions affected. Plus 2.5 armor and magic resist for each champion affected. So this can be a very strong item, even like Zac. Again, if his AP ratios are good. Um, it could also be very strong on a champion. Like it's someone who wants to go around. Like it might be good on Lily. It'd be interesting if you can stack this on. Like I don't know if you can stack Leandri's. If you can stack Leandri's, that'd be pretty funny. If you can, that's pretty insane. But this item's very powerful. It just deals max HP damage, insane. 6% max HP damage over 4 seconds is pretty good. Cerdalia's Grudge. 4580, 30% armor pen, 20%. No, yeah, I'm just gonna say 20%. 20% ability haste. Damaging abilities slow enemies by 30% for 1 second. So, yeah, this is meant to be built later on, but yeah, it's kind of expensive though. 400 gold. This is meant to be built very, very late game. Also, the important thing to know about the ability is that it slows with only abilities, not basic attacks. Hmm. This could also be strong on a champion like Hecarim potentially, but I think this is. I mean, it's for assassins. Hmm. It can be good with Hecarim if you're against tanks. Cause one of Hecarim's biggest issues is if someone built tank, he didn't really deal a lot of damage. So this item can easily solve that issue and also help Hecarim peel. Which is also important to note is that champions that aren't traditionally good at peeling can actually be good at peeling with this item. Very interesting. Silvermere Dawn, 35 AD, 200 HP, 35 MR. Removes all disables except airborne, and gain 40% tenacity and slow resistance for 3 seconds. So it's not immune to slows anymore. Can't be used while affected by airborne effects. So that's very interesting that they actually lower the power budget. Uh, I think people used to be able to Quicksilver Vi's ultimate, which was kind of shitty. So I guess Vi kind of got buffed with all these changes because I swear you could cleanse the knockup, which is kind of silly. Um, like you could walk away right before it ends. Um, yeah, that's pretty much that. That's pretty much an AD carry, or even maybe even a type of bruiser item because it does give quite a bit of tanky stats. Chempunk Chainsword. 45 AD, 200 HP, 15% ability haste. Dealing physical damage applies 4% grievous wounds to enemy champions for 2 seconds. It's not 3 anymore, it's 2 seconds. That's an important thing to know about grievous wounds. If the target is below 50% HP, this effect is increased to 6% grievous wounds. So this is a very strong item on drain tanks, so like Aatrox. Um, it doesn't give armor pen anymore. It's literally just an offensive item. I mean, it also works on abilities as well, which is also really interesting. So it's mostly a fighters and assassin item. It's not meant for AD carries, just like they say. Chemtech Putrefier. 50 ability power, 15% ability haste, 100% mana gem. Dealing magic damage applies grievous wounds for 2 seconds. Immobilizing enemy champions grants 60% instead. So, um, yeah, I pretty much just get builds if they have a ton of annoying things. Just again, just get on any APs. It's just anti-healing. It's nothing else to talk about. Staff of it's also interesting because immobilizing champions grants 60% grievous wounds. So will Lilia's ult grant 60% and it's only during the duration for 2 seconds? I don't know. Staff of Flowing Water. Sexy ability power, 10% heal and shield power, 100% base mana regen. Healing or shielding ally grants you both 50% movement speed and 20 to 40 ally level 1 through 18. Ability power for 3 seconds. It's a duo bot item, like they say. So pretty much a support item. Storing Warstone. This item can store up to 3 control wards. This item transforms into Watchful Wardstone once you've placed 20 stealth wards. This is a support shit, man. I don't really care. Upgrades from like I mean whatever. 25 ability haste as you upgrade it. This item can be stored up to 3 control wards, increases your stealth and ward control ward placed into cast by 1. That's actually very important to note. That's also a lot more control in the support's hands. They can also upgrade this item to Village and Wardstone. 10% movement speed, 40 ability haste. Same passives. Yeah, just have the end game 6 slot for supports. Updated legendary items. These are the ones that you're familiar with. They just got updated. Um, Or a reminder: 2080, 25% attack speed, 20% crit chance, 7% movement speed. Movement speed is quite nice. Dealing physical damage applies 40% grievous wounds. and dealing 3 consecutive base attacks to an enemy champion. Basic attacks, by the way. Enhances this effect to 60% reduced wounds against them until the effect is allowed to elapse. So, um, yeah, this is mainly just an AD carry item. Self-explanatory. Ginso's Rage Blade, 40% attack speed, 20% crit chance, 2600 gold only. Basic attacks apply 45% physical damage on hit per 20% crit chance, but you can no longer critically strike. Every third basic attack applies your on hit effects twice. Um, hmm. This is interesting. I'm not sure who this is good on. I'm not sure if it's meant for ADs or if it's only meant for like Master G. This item always sounds interesting in Shyvana, but it's usually not good in Shyvana, so I don't know. I don't really care about really. Phantom Dancer, they changed a bit. 40% attack speed, 20% crit chance, 7% movement speed. Base attacks grant 7% movement speed for 2 seconds. In addition, attacking 5 times causes Spectral Waltz to also grant 40% attack speed for the same duration. So that's a lot of. I'm not sure if it stacks. Like once you get the 5 attacks, does it just stack, or do you need another 5 attacks? Well, it also says attacking, so I'm not sure if it's basic attacks or abilities. It's probably only a basic attacks. Because it's an 80 item. So yeah, it's definitely not. I mean, it's really just for mobility. It's kind of interesting, I guess. Lower dominance regards 30 AD, 20% crit chance, 25% armor pen, deal up to 50% bonus physical damage against champions with greater max HP than you. So I am just, again, you can actually rush this a bit earlier if armor's an issue. It gives crit chance, that's nice. Essence Reaver 40 AD, 20% crit chance, 20% ability haste. After using the ability, your next base attack deals an additional 100% base AD plus 40% bonus AD physical damage and restores 3% mana. Um, yeah, this is really for the AD carries. Like it has a lot of damage on hit. It's kind of like Trinity Force, and yeah, they even say it's like Trinity Force. It's just for AD carries. So that's interesting. Infinity Edge, 70 80, 20% crit chance. Gain an additional 8% critical strike damage per 20% crit chance. So yeah, you're meant to build this after like your mythic item. You can maybe rush it, but even then, so yeah, because you only need 20% crit chance to max out on this. So you're meant to rush. This is supposed to be like a second or third item maybe. Mana Immune, 35 AD, 400 mana, 15 ability haste. Gain bonus AD equal to 2% max mana. Strike a target with an attack or ability to consume a charge and gain 3% bonus mana. Bonus mana gain is doubled if the target is a champion. This item transfers to burn mana once 450 mana has been granted. Grant a new gain a new mana charge for every 8 seconds max 4. The one thing I like about this is that you have to actually hit a champion instead of spamming it because it's very artificial when you can just spam it. So it makes champions like Ezreal and Karthus like with Archangel Staff, artificially very strong with items. It makes the item hard to balance, but make it so you have to hit a target slash enemy champion makes it easier to balance overall. So I like that. Um, I also think they lowered how many charges you need. I think it was 700 before. I don't really know. I didn't really build this item because I didn't really play Ezreal and stuff. So I don't know, but I remember I think it was 700. But I can understand why they lowered it because you have to actually hit something now. Game bonus. Okay, Murder mana is just same thing. 35 AD, 850 mana, 50% ability haste. Game bonus AD based off mana. When targeting champions, ability strikes and base attacks deal. Oh, it's also only champions. It's not minions anymore. So that's also very important to note as well. So being able to kill Baron fast with this is a bit nerfed as far as I know. Ability strikes and base attacks deal additional physical damage equal to 4% maximum mana. It doesn't care about how much mana you have. So yeah, like people used to build this on Ezreal and stuff and kill Baron really fast, but it doesn't. I don't think it will kill Baron as fast anymore. So that's pretty interesting. Um, Also, this got nerfed because 2% max mana isn't as much as before because they changed that one mana rune that gives you 500 mana after 5 champion kills slash assists. Archangel Staff. This item no one really builds it, so it's kind of hard to judge. 60 ability power, 400 mana. Gain bonus ability power equal to 3% max mana. Strike it a target with an ability, consumer charge, and gain 3 bonus mana. It's not 4, it's 3 this time. Well, it was it 4. Oh, it is 3. Never mind, I'm lying. I was confused with something else. Bonus mana gain is doubled if the target is a champion. This item transfers into Seraph's Embrace. One's 450. Yeah, same thing. Seraph's Embrace, 60 ability power, 850 mana, gain bonus ability damage, ability power equal to 5% max mana, increase your total mana by 5 plus 2.5% per 100 HP. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care because jungles only build up. Lich Bane. 80 ability power, 10% movement speed. That's a lot of movement speed, by the way. After using ability, your next base attack is enhanced with additional 150% base CD plus 60% ability power match damage, 2.5-second cooldown. They actually increased the upfront damage of this item, but increased the cooldown. But people who built this didn't really care anyway. So this item is very strong now. Like Fizz, Evelyn, this item is insane on them now. They're very bursty. So yeah, this item's just nuts. Okay, so champions I typically build this again, like Evelyn, really good now. Blade of the Ruined King, 40 AD, 30 attack speed, 12% lifesteal. Basic attacks apply physical damage equal to 10% melee, 6% for range on the target's max current HP. Base attacking a champion 3 times deals 40 to 120 max damage, levels 1 through 18, and steals 20% movement speed for 2 seconds. I don't know if this has a cooldown. I don't know if it does. I don't think if this doesn't have a cooldown, that's actually insane. I don't know. If it does have a cooldown, that's really insane. But yeah, it probably does. I don't know. That's really interesting too. It's pretty much the same thing though, unless they change that. Black Cleaver, 300 HP, 40 AD, 25% ability haste. It's a lot of CDR. Dealing physical damage to a champion applies a stack of 4% armor pen for 6 seconds. Up to 6, just like it does now. Damaging attacks and abilities against fully shredded enemies deal an additional 5% of the target's missing health and physical damage. Damage over time effect is deal 2%. Wait, damage over time effects deal 2% missing health instead. 0.5-second cooldown. Uh, it's well, you get 6 stacks. Yeah, it's not good on champion like Set. Set sucks at stacking Black Cleaver. It could be good on Nocturne though, which is very interesting because he also builds lethality. I don't know. Maybe it's probably mainly a top lane item anyway. Well, also you can build on range, so. I don't know. It's pretty much the same item, just more interesting. Artemis Hydra, 65 AD, 20 ability power, or ability haste, 50% Omni Vamp. Very important. It gives Omni Vamp, so abilities heal as well, not just autos. Basic attacks and abilities deal up to 60% of your attack damage to other enemies near the target. Damage scales down with distance from the target. Applies once per ability. Um, it's interesting because it could also be good on a champion like Hecarim. But I'm not sure how it would work with his Q. It's very interesting. It's kind of an item we would need to test out. It's already good on like champions like Riven, champions that already build. Hydra might be more so of a top lane item anyway. Attack Hydra, 500 HP, 30 attack damage. Gain bonus attack damage equal to 1% reaction HP. Base attacks deal additional physical damage equal to 4 plus 1.5% of your max HP to target and 40 plus 3% of your max health to enemies behind the target. 75% damage for range. So that's not a big downside for range. It's also very interesting. You can actually build this for range. So you could even do a weird kindred build where you build Ravenous, Hydra, and Titanic. Being a ranged unit as well can also make it so you can apply a better cone because if you're shooting someone from far away, chances are they're trying to run away from you and maybe they're with your team. So this could be absolutely insane. Titanic plus Cleaver because Titanic's AoE also applies uh, you know, the cleaver stacks. I don't think this has an active anymore. But yeah, that sounds really interesting to do some kind of tank kindred build. What's end? 30 attack damage, 40% attack speed, 50 MR. Interesting to note that it gives attack damage now. Base attacks apply 15 to 80 met damage on hit and grant 20% movement speed for 2 seconds. So no more healing, it just gives movement speed. Um, it's interesting to say this champion might be for like Echo Yi Echo. I mean Fiora Yi Echo, because I mean Echo is interesting because why would I mean it was 80. Yeah, interesting. Um, hmm. It doesn't give movement speed anymore as a stat. So yeah, you need to be someone who can attack fast. I don't think this is really a AD item, a ranged item. Is it? I mean, it doesn't give a downside. It's a lot of MR. I think it's also an offensive MR item for attack speed. Bob Mortis, 50 AD, 50 magic resist, 50% ability haste. Upon taking magic damage, that would reduce your health below 30%. Gain a 200 plus 20% max HP magic damage shield for 5 seconds, 6-second cooldown. Um, yeah, this is really good again for tanks. Again, if you built like a kindred build with Black Cleaver, Titanic, and Maul, that's a big shield because one of her biggest issues was burst damage from mages. So, and she wouldn't be able to proc her ult. So this is a really strong item for kindred, and I don't know, maybe other champions as well. Like even like it's again kind of a situational. You just need to be stacking HP. Really, it's not max. It's max HP, not bonus HP, but still, it's still better if you have more HP. Hmm. Pretty much if you, I guess, want to be offensive. Hmm. 30, gives CDR, which is nice. These two items are the same gold as well. Yeah, this item's really for like melees, and this item's for like melees that need to stay on you. This item's for like being tanky, pretty much. Death Dance, 50 AD, 40 armor, 50% ability haste. Uh, damage dealt is over 3 seconds, 35% for melee, 50% for range. Champion takedowns cleanse, ignore pain's remaining damage, grant you 30% movement speed for 2 seconds, and restore 10% of your max health over duration. This could just be insane in general on a champion like even like set because movement speed is nice, 10% max HP. This is an interesting fighter item overall. It can also be very strong in a champion like Vi. I mean anyone that can kill someone because if you kill someone and even they're all on you, say you take I don't know, say 2,000 damage. If you kill them right away, you can negate like 500 plus damage if you kill them like literally right away. So that's pretty interesting. And also it restores 10% max HP over 2 seconds. So that's a very strong item for people who want to just kill someone. So yeah, very strong. Stark's Gauge, 400 health, 50 AD, dealing damage to dealing damage to or taking damage from a champion grants a stack, restoring 2% of your max health over 6 seconds, max 5% stacks, 1 per enemy champion. So yeah, if one champion's on you, you only be getting 2% of your max HP over 6 seconds. 60% effective for range users. So if the whole team's on you, this is very good for team fights. If you just want to go in, like this can be very strong on set. It's max HP, not missing HP. That's very strong. Upon taking damage, that would reduce your health below 30%. Gain shield equal to 200 plus 8% of your max health per stack of rage. 6-second cooldown. Max health portion of shield 6% smaller for range user. So yeah, if 5 people are on you, you can gain a freaking like that's a huge shield. Yeah, this item is literally if you are team fighting a lot. This is not for split pushing. If you're split pushing, you want to build some other item like Death Stance or Maul. This item is for those team fights. You just want to go in like go crazy because this item can keep you alive. Radiant's Omen, 250 HP, 80 armor, 10 ability haste. 2,700 gold as well. Briefly slow nearby enemies and reduce their attack damage by 10% and critical strike damage by 20% for 4 seconds, 60-second cooldown. And then reduce incoming damage from base attacks by up to 0.5% of your max HP, capped at 40% of the attack's damage. That is also insane. This item is actually insane because before the problem was that it was only good against crit users, but now it actually reduces everything, not even just champions. So this could be very powerful, even against tanking Baron. It's very powerful in general. So also gives us slow, so you can ult. Yeah, it's pretty strong. Yeah, I think this item is also is very. It can be very powerful on any tank that stacks armor. Although there's a cap of 40% of attack damage, so it can't go too low. But still, important thing to know is that the active slow reduces attack damage by 10% and critical strike damage by 20%. So that can be really good as Chin. Yeah, it's just again optional. It's very optional. Frozen Heart, 400 mana, 80 armor, 20 ability haste. Gives a bit more CDR. It's the same gold. It's 400 mana, and it doesn't give any HP. So the only difference is that it's trading 400 for 250 HP and 10 for 250 HP is getting 400 mana and 10 ability haste. Reduce the attack speed of nearby enemies by 15%. So it's only really good against champions. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of. Uh, Reduce incoming damage for base attacks. Yeah, it's the same passive. This item is kind of really niche in all honesty. It's only good against champions that attack really fast, I guess. But even then, it's like I just feel like Fredion's Omen is like a billion times better because mana is not really even an issue anymore in this game. So, like this doesn't work against Master Yi still. So it's like, why wouldn't you just build this? You can reduce Master Yi's attack damage at least, you know, like. So yeah, Random Omen just seems way better. This item just seems very. Oops. What did I do? Okay, oops. um, yeah, this item just seems lacking. Gargoyle Stone Plate. They kind of nerfed this, I think. 60 armor, 60 magic resist. Well, it gives better stats off the bat instead of being around more targets. 15% ability haste. Gain a 100 plus 100% bonus health shield like case over 2.5 seconds. 90-second cooldown. So you don't need to be around champions anymore, so that's interesting to know. Taking damage from a champion against 3% bonus armor and 3% bonus armor Ami magic resist for 6 seconds, once per enemy. Max 50% bonus armor and magic resist. So, yeah, this is a big pure tank item. You don't actually get reduced damage anymore when you proc the active as well, which I guess is the exchange for less tankiness. Yeah, it's just very strong on pure tanks. Like, it's not really that good on champions that build like semi-offensively, I would think. Epistle Mask. 350 HP, 60 MR. Immobilizing a champion causes them to take 10% increased damage for 4 seconds. Immobilizing, I think it means actually CCing them. I'm not. I don't think you slowing counts. I think immobilize means they can't move like they're CC or rooted. I think so. Yeah, it's kind of like an offensive item. Like, you know, 8 guns Sejuani. It's more so a tank item. Thornmail. 350 HP, 60 armor. When struck by a basic attack, deal 10 plus 10% bonus armor. It's a bit less damage. I believe it was like 15 damage, or it was like 15% bonus armor. I forget. Magic damage to the attacker imply 4% grievous wounds for 2 seconds if they're a champion. Immobilizing enemy champions also apply 6% grievous wounds for 2 seconds. This item is also really insane. Really insane on tanks. Like, it can be very good on Zac. It can be very good on. You know, I always loved Thornmail. I always used to do a Cinderhulk Thornmail, so I might be going Sunfire Cape Thornmail on a lot of tanks like Zac, like I don't know. I don't play Tom Kench anymore because he can't. So I Xj9's. Ziggy's Convergence. I think it's more of a supreme. 300 HP, 250 mana, 30 armor, 20 abilities. Designate an accomplice, 6-second cooldown. For 4 seconds after you immobilize an enemy, your accomplice's attacks and abilities apply an additional 25 to 50 plus 1.5% of your max HP, plus 7.5% of your AP, max damage to enemy. It's not a burn. It's literally an on hit. So this item sounds really broken. Because it's not a burn. So a champion that can just blow someone up is like... This can be very insane on like a quirky. Yeah, that's a very strong because like it's not an act. It's not like you have to use your ultimate. This item just sounds broken in general, honestly. So yeah, if you see this item, I'll probably build a maul against it. Knight's Vow, 400 HP, 300% base health regen, 10% ability haste. Designate an ally who is worthy. While your worthy ally is nearby, redirect 50% of the damage they take to you, and if they have less than 50% of health, gain 35% movement speed when running towards them. So yeah, it used to give movement speed regardless, so it doesn't anymore. So that's actually interesting. I guess it was to prevent abuse cases. Um, yeah, okay. Moral Monocon, 70 ability power, 250 HP, dealing damage. Match damage applies 40% grievous wounds. If the target is below 50% HP, this effect is increased to 60% grievous wounds. It doesn't give uh penny more, or it doesn't give penny more. This item is also very strong because you can go this item into it gives HP, which is nice. It's very cheap, so you can go the Leandri's item into a Morales, and that combo is insane in Lilia. It's This item is just really good. It's just cheap as hell. And Grievous Wounds is probably good no matter what, really. Sanjuan Blade, 50 AD, 10 lethality, 12% physical vamp. So physical vamp again is uh your autos and abilities, and I believe on hit effects, and because what is it? Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah. While near one or fewer visible enemy champions, gain 8 lethality and 20 attack speed percent, taking over 3 seconds if another champion gets too close. Yeah, so it's pretty much the only difference is as physical vamp. So yeah, this is more so an assassin item. Legendary item balance changes. So items that you're familiar with that got changed. Uh, Rapid fire cannon, 100 more gold, has 5% more attack speed, less critical strike chance because everything's got 20%. Storm Razor, 500 less gold, 10 less AD, 50% less attack speed. Uh, Same thing with the crit chance. Just that's a very cheap item for that effect though, so that's nice. If anything, I would even say that's good. Because Scimitar, 500 gold cheaper, 2900 gold. 3080, 30 MR, and it gives crit chance now, so that's important to note. So if you need to build this, you're not so punished anymore. Doesn't give lifesteal anymore. Removes all disables excluding airborne, unchanged but now called out. Can't be used while affected by I don't know. I swear I was getting. I don't know. I think you can move before it ends. Can't be used while affected by uh airborne effects. Ruinous Hurricane. This is also a really huge item. So this item costs 8 or more gold, but for a good reason. So it gives AD, it gives critical strike chance, and it gives uh the 7% movement speed down from 9%. But the thing is that it scales 40%, 40 to 70% total attack damage, 10 to 18. This item, the Jinx might become a huge meta now because this item is just insane. Really, any Ruinous Hurricane user, like, you can't even be gun Jin maybe, but yeah, Jinx is the biggest thing that you can literally go a mythic item into Runons and you just destroy it. The fact that it scales with total 80 is insane. Raleigh Scepter costs 400 more gold. It's 3,000 gold now. Now the ability power unchanged. It now has 50 more HP. Slows down 30%, so it's a better slowing item. Nashor's Tooth, same gold, has 40 more ability power, 50% attack speed, has 0 cooldown reduction. On hit damage is now, it was 15 damage before plus 0.15, now it's 15 damage plus 0.25. I just like this more because uh, that's a lot better on Diana because She just wants. Is that 8? I think it is an 8. Yeah, it is an 8. Yeah, that's an interesting item. It could be very strong on a champion like Diana and stuff. Bloodthirster, 100 less gold. It gives 5 less AD, but it gives crit chance, so that's very strong now as well. So yeah, Draven probably likes that a lot. Maybe rush on Draven, after your mythic item. Edge of Night, unchanged gold value, just gives 5 less AD. Reason being is probably because of mythic items. Still a very strong item. Yuma's Ghostblade, costs 100 more gold, 5 more AD though, and as normal CR now. Umbral Glaive, it costs 4 more gold, that's huge, and 5 more AD, and it gives 15% ability haste. You just give 10% CDR. So yeah, this item was mostly bought because it was so cheap. It costs more though, so that's a bigger investment. So maybe we'll see less of it. It's still a very strong item, but still, that's a big nerf. Guardian Angel gives 5 less AD. That's all I really changed. Warmogs costs. Fuck, wait. I need coffee. Okay. Warmogs costs 150 less gold. I mean, yeah, it costs 150 more gold. It gives 10 ability haste. It gave 10 CDR before. And Warmogs Heart, it was 2.5% max health per half second. Now it's 5% per second. It's the same thing. I guess it's just to make it so it doesn't get confused with base health regen. It's a bit of a nerf. This item overall got nerfed, but it's fine. It's still the same thing. It's just you won't regen every half second. It's every second now. Spirit Visage costs 300 gold more. Minus 15% magic resist. 10 ability haste, and increases shielding by 20%. This game overall just got freaking gutted. So, like, I don't know. It also, again, it depends on how the mythic items work, but I mean, it can still be good on like Zac, but I mean, that's really expensive. And it got nerfed a lot, man. So, I don't know. That man's plate, 50 more HP, 20 less armor, which is huge. But it gives 5% move speed, which is kind of nice. So, that's a very strong item on set and stuff. It's very utility though. 5% move speed is also very nice on Hecarim. Oh, that's very interesting. It's like again through this honing more on offensive dead man's plate. Having move speed also, regardless of whether or not the 100% charge is on or not, is also nice. So yeah. Ardent Sensor doesn't give CDR anymore. Moon speed's gone, and it gives 50% more mana regen. Redemption, 20% healing, shielding power up from 10%. 50% ability haste. You just give 10% CR. Base health regen, it's gone. Base mana regen is down to 100%. It used to be 150%. No longer damages minions or gets 3 times effectiveness from heal and shield powers. So yeah, I didn't even know it can damage minions, by the way. Bikill's Blessing, this is also a huge nerf, I think, to this. So it costs 200 more gold. It gives 10 more MR, 50% ability haste. So now it's remove all crowd control debuffs except airborne and suppression from an ally, and restore 100 to 200 allies level 1 through 18 health to 126 cooldown. Dollar grants bonus health regen equal to mana regen. So yeah, I think this did cleanse suppression before, so this time got a huge nerf, but still like as in like Malzahar and stuff. So if a character has an issue with Malzahar, they have to build that scimitar item. Original Soul Steer costs 200 gold more, and there's no more mana on it, and it's 100 more HP. Bit more interesting because it gives you that sustain, the HP, so it can be more viable to build, I guess. But I don't like sub items that much. Zarni's Hourglass is insane now. It costs 400 gold less, 2500. 65 ability power, 10% ability haste. That's a very cheap item. I love Zoni's Hourglass on a champion like Evelyn. It sounds weird, but being able to tank, objectives is huge because you're expected to if you have no tank. Yeah, that's just really cheap. That's really cheap. So yeah, Zoni's just sounds insane. Banshee's feels 500 gold cheaper. Uh, gives 65 ability power, so minus 10. Battle resist, it used to be 60, it only gets 35 now. Ability haste, it gives 10% ability haste, and it gave 10% CDR before. Dragon changes. So pretty much all this is they got rid of Machete and Omni. So pretty much it's right off the bat game. Right off the bat. Okay, do I want Chilling or Challenging Smite? You just buy one of these. Red Challenging, Blue Smite. And it was interesting because I played a setbot game, and yeah, you can't kill the red bristleback or hornbillback, whatever you call it, as fast as anymore. But like it plays out better. I like it a lot. So damaging monsters burns them for 60 plus 10% AP, 2% bonus HP, bonus 80, magic damage for 5 seconds. Smiting 5 times consumes this item gives you chilling smite. Killing large monsters grants bonus experience. Regen up to 8 to 18 mana per second while in the jungle or river. So yeah, this is champions that you just also build Cinderhulk like Sejuani and Mumu. I like building Cinderhulk and Mumu. They can actually have a lot of mana now, which is really nice. Like this is the thing that really makes a lot of junglers viable now. Like even like again, it gives Omni Vamp as well, 12%. I'm really excited. You could maybe pull off some weird jungles now, like I always loved Nico Jungle, so this Nico Jungle is a lot more viable now to this. This thing does the same thing. Um, they changed challenge smite a little bit, I think. So, when smiting champions challenge smite marks them for 4 seconds during this time, your damaging attacks and abilities grants 48 to 125 bonus attack damage to them over 2.5 seconds, refreshing but not stacking. But you take 20% reduced damage from this smite enemy. I believe this was only auto attack, so now they made it abilities as well. That's also interesting to note. So it's actually a bit of a buff to it. Abilities now apply and refresh the burnt alongside block attacks. Yep, that's the thing they did. Emily's smite damage reduction now has a FEX, so yeah, it's just to show how much damage it does. So that's nice as well to judge how it is. So yeah, on Sejuani you would Q and W in a lot. So yeah, that could be very powerful though. That's a lot more damage. Jungle creeps. Overall, I will say the armor and magic resist on these used to be like 10 to 30 or 10 to 30. Yeah, 10 to 30 or 15 to 30. Pretty much all the camps have 20 armor and or 20 magic resist, respectively, depending on what the camp is. So right off the bat, Grump, 20 MR now. Health. Overall, also health went down quite a bit on a lot of these camps. Grump is a lot easier to kill as well. Some camps have like not as significant as of a HP reduction, just because Grump's a lot easier to kill. Grump no longer destroys you with 3 basic attacks. Grump kills restore HP now, health and mana increased up to 100% based on killer's HP, and they increase attack damage a little, but it doesn't matter. So the important thing to know about this is that this is the sustain option in your clear. So after you do blue, or yeah, like blue, say you're very low, you actually want to do Gromp without like smiting, maybe even because it will heal you more. But it's not that big. But yeah, it's important to know that Risk Scholar doesn't heal you anymore. It's Gromp now. Blue Sentinel and is 20 armor, 20 magic assist. Again, the HP got nerfed a bit. All these camps also move faster. I actually like that more because it makes it so you can actually maybe even kite them better, like towards your camp. Some people don't like this, but I like this change a lot just because I think it's, I don't know, I think it's more skillful overall. Um, yeah, again, this is so Merc Wolf matches this has 0. Uh, this is also only the small ones. It doesn't really matter that much. Tiny bit buff the HP. Doesn't really matter though, honestly. Uh, I don't know. It's pretty much the same thing. I don't like saying all this stuff. Like Crimson Raptor now has so before Crimson Raptors used to have 30 to 60 armor and 30 to 60 MR. Now it's 20%. Crimson Raptors also have 800 to 160 HP. Overall, I think Crimson Raptors got nerfed, which is really nice. So that's very nice that they're not as tanky anymore. Um, yeah, that's actually nice. So now Raptors probably won't destroy you. A lot of junglers can probably even Duke Raptors a lot better now. Lesser Raptor has a bit less HP. Well, a bit more HP, not a whole lot. Doesn't really matter. Maroon Speed, Red and Brambleback, 20 armor, 20 magic resist from 10-20 and 15 to 30. Uh, again, doesn't really matter. This stuff doesn't really matter that much because you don't really care about the armor magic resist of these camps. You just kill things. A bit less HP on the red, and yeah, red and blue buff have less HP overall, and they're easier to kill. Ancient Krug. Oh, it is an interesting thing about Ancient Krug. So, they're a bit more tanky. Yeah, they're tanky overall, more tanky, especially against AD users. They have a bit less HP, so it's kind of the same, honestly. Yeah, they're honestly, yeah, it is kind of the same. And more movement speed. The medium Krugs more movement speed. They get more experience to the medium. No, they reduce it. My bad. They reduce the movement speed of the experience off the medium Krugs and lower the gold. And you get more to the lesser. Before it used to be good to actually ignore the small ones, uh, more so early, and go to the next camp. But they're trying to incentivize to actually fully clear the camp. So yeah, they just put that golden XP into the lesser Krugs, and also now there's a gold effect when you kill the lesser Krugs. Wait. Oh gosh, I'm hungry. Risk Scholar, they made 20 armor, 20 magic resist. Has a bit less HP. Spawns with a 60% max HP shield. Shield breaks when immobilized. Risk Scholar only gains. They remove the tankiness has before you CC it, and killing no longer restores mana. So it's also really nice. So now single target junglers without CCs can actually kill this very easily. That's nice. Also makes more outplays because maybe you won't attack it at all, and maybe it'll make you wait until your CC comes up. Epic items. So these items that build into legendary items. Total Moon Quiver. 10, 30, 80, 50% attack speed. Attack deal additional 20% damage to minions and monsters. I'm not really sure what to think about these. It's kind of like whatever, because like it's kind of like you need to kind of see how things build. So that's just what it does. Rage Knife. 50%, 800 gold, 25% attack speed, attack supply, 30%, 35% physical damage on hit per 20% of your critical strike chance, but you can no longer critical strike. This is for people who have crit and want that Gunso's effect without the on hit, every 3 hits. So interesting, I guess. Lightning Jewel, very interesting item. 1250 gold, 25 ability power, 50% magic pen. It's that item that have magic pen, early on without finishing the item. Uh, what's it called? Leeching Leer. 150 HP, 1300 gold, 20 ability power, 10% on event. Um, yeah, I mean, it depends on what it builds into. I kind of forget what it builds into, but yeah, probably more so a laner item than anything. Oblivion Orb, 800 gold, 30 ability power, dealing magic damage applies 40% grievous wounds to champions for 2 seconds. Very insane. 800 gold for grievous wounds, insane. Very, 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 very insane. Seeker's Arm Guard, very insane item. They made it cheaper. Their ability power, 15% armor. And killing unit grants 1 armor second 30 times. Very good for junglers. Again, very strong because you can build this into Zonios. It's very, very good item overall. Hex Alternator, 1050 gold, 40 ability power. Damage enemy champion deals an additional 50 to 125 magic damage, 40 second cooldown. This is very much that Gunblade item. But, yeah, procs and ability. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I guess for assassins, and you also build in with the hexagon blades. Yeah. But Bomb Cinder, 300 HP, 1000 gold, deal 15 plus 1% bonus HP, bonus health, magic damage to per second to nearby enemies. Increased by 50% against minions and 100% against monsters. Um. So yeah, it does do more damage already. They got rid of that active though. So yeah, pretty interesting. It's just pretty much a building block of rushing Sunfire Cape and stuff. Wind Moon Plate, 800 gold, 150 HP, grants 5% move speed. Very, very interesting item. It can be very powerful to get this item in general on like a champ like set that lacks some movement speed and to complement your runes. So yeah, that seems like a really strong item. I'm not sure what it builds into, but overall, it sounds really good. Honestly, that's a really cheap for 5% movement speed. So yeah, it's like 15 movement speed. That's pretty good. Verdant Barrier, 1200 gold, 25 ability power, 25 magic resist. Every 6 seconds, gain 3. Every 60 seconds, gain 3 magic resist. Max 15. Taking damage from champions is the reduces the time until the next to increase by 5% of the damage taking. XE taking 100 magic damage reduces the time by 5 seconds. This is more of a lane item, but it still can be strong. It depends on what it builds into. I think it builds the Force Nature. Warren's Mail, a very strong item actually. 1000 gold, 40 armor, reduces incoming damage from base attacks by 0.5% bonus HP, capped at 40% of the basic attack's damage. What was that one I did this? Oh yeah, it's followed the Thornmail. Yeah, this item's very strong if you don't need the Grievous Wounds effect. You can even just camp this item for a while, because it gives the same effect as a completed Thornmail, which is always important to take note of when item effects have the same effect of a completed item. So that's a very strong item if your champion is like getting like I don't know, maybe their sustain's bad. Although I don't think their sustain would be bad. It's a very strong item in general against fast attacks, really, and maybe junglers. Although I think junglers don't have any issues sustaining anymore. Phage, 15 AD, 200 HP. After you deal physical damage to a champion, restore 2% melee, 1% range, max health over 6 seconds. Again, I think it's more of a lane item, not so much a jungle item. It's very good for sustain. Hearthbound Axe, 1,100 gold, 15 AD, 15 attack speed, attacking against 20 melee, 10 range, movement speed for 2 seconds. Um, yeah, it's pretty much like Phage. T-Map, 1,200 gold, 25 AD, attacks deal up to 60% total attack damage, physical damage to other nearby enemies. I'm not sure if this applies the the burn on your jungle item, because I know for a fact like the Iron Spike Whip, for instance, is 1,200 gold, same gold, 30 attack 30 attack damage, deal 75 total attack damage to nearby enemies, minions, and monsters below 50% HP. Take 200% damage, 50% cooldown affected by abilities. The thing about this item is it's good for a champion that don't attack very fast and just want a burst of damage. And the thing about this item with Iron Spike Whip is that it applies the burn damage of your jungle item. So like champions like Shaco, well, Shaco has the box AoEs, but being able to AoE and get the burn and for the sustain is absolutely insane. I really like the item. I'm not sure how it works with like because if this item, for instance, also applies the burn and also like the Sunfire Cape applies the burn, it's not that they're all universal. But I like this item a lot. It was a really cool item to use. Um, Bandle Glass Mirror. 1,050 gold, 20 ability power, 10 ability haste, 50% mana regen. It's just an item, I guess. Epic item Balance Changes Zeal. 200 less gold, 6% movement speed, 10% less crit. Grievous Rune durations from extra calling from 3 to 2. She needs out only 700 gold, no mana, and it gives no CR. Still very powerful. If anything, maybe it's even stronger. Giant Spell, 100 less gold. It gives 30 less HP. Negatron Cloak, 180 more gold, and it call it 10 more MR. It's kind of whatever. Spectral's Cow, 50 more gold. Aegis Legion, 400 more gold. Ability haste 10. That's really big. Quicksilver Sash removes all disables. 2. Removes all disables excluding airborne. Unchanged now, but not call it. Can't be used while airborne. Forbidden Idol. Uh, it gives 10% healing shield power from 5%. Cooldown direction doesn't give it anymore. Tier of Gods, you can actually start with Tier of Gods now. So yeah, this is mainly a laner item. Very interesting. Opens up a lot of interesting builds, like maybe Tier of Goddess, uh, Illusion, maybe Tier of God. Like it's very interesting. I think it's yeah, it is a greedy start. So if you can play safe, sure. Maybe it's even strong on Jinx. Who knows? Dark Seal. 15. Yeah, so I think this gave us more ability power. Not quite sure, but ability power 15, health 40. Champion sits against stacks. 5 stacks per glory. 5 ability power per stack of glory. So yeah, a bit more interesting. I like. I didn't. I wasn't a big fan of the healing from potions thing, and yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the mana. So this item is actually more. I never liked this item. I like this item more now though, since it doesn't give these two things. So I always thought these two things were absolutely worthless. Like people always built this item on Evelyn. I always said why. I always thought this item was bad on Evelyn. Doran's Blade, 880, 80% health, 80 health, and grants 2.5% Omnivamp. Very interesting. Also means casters like Jin can also lifesteal a lot off it. Doran's Ring, 15%, 15 ability power. Sorry, I'm just really like I want to eat. 15 ability power, 78 HP. Killing a minion restores 6 mana. Excess mana, all 6 of it if you can't gain mana, is converted to healing at a 50% rate. So, I guess champions that don't actually have any, mana, can actually build this now. So, So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a lean item. I don't really build. I don't really play mid, so it's kind of hard to say. Cloak of Agility is 200 less gold, but it only gives 50% crit now. Fairy Charm, 120, 50, it pretty much double effective Fairy Charm with double the cost. Um, Spoil Wars, Supportance, 35 seconds. Tribute gold, 20 gold per proc. Fully crit support items count as legendaries. Hmm. Yeah, oh, yeah. Who really cares? Yeah, is this a shave of damage? Who really cares? Right, yeah, this is funny. Yeah, Plays Steel Caps is a new ninja tabby. It's kind of funny if they changed that. So yeah, Plays Steel Caps is OP, guys. Removed items, Hex XGL, bye bye. Um, so this item's I guess supposed to be the item's supposed to be like that Everfrost time. Loon's Echo, yep, it's new. It's just reimagined. Leonard is reimagined. Re, like so these items are very much all still in the game. Yeah, all these items are in the game still. I mean, that album sucked. That album was like the worst time in the game. Athene, best game in the world. Uh, yeah, he was just too OP for the game. He doesn't. He's too good. Frozen Mallet. Yeah, really weird item. It was a good one. I never really built this item. I didn't really like it, but yeah, it was abusive on champions like Gnar. Hexa Gunblade. Yeah, I agree. That item was way too strong on the champions I was good on. It was very hard to balance. Spellbinder. Very interesting. They removed the item. But I guess it was just hard to judge on when to build it, and yeah, it's true. It's hard to tell when you actually did a good job. They removed Raw of Ages, and now instead of Raw of Ages, people will build Archangels. Um, Stack Shift, they removed that. So because yeah, I don't know why they just removed it. Twin Shadows, they removed it because it was too strong as well. Jarvan's Fist. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't really care about the reason. They just removed that. Child of Harmony, yeah, because the theme was best game in the world, so they removed that. But War Cutlass, they removed it because Hexagon Blade's gone, so yeah. RP that item. I always liked that item, but they always nerfed it. I always remember I was playing Vi, and I killed the Echo, and because he didn't calculate War Cutlass's damage at the very end, and he literally flamed me saying I'm a bad player for building War Cutlass, who builds that on Vi, and was calling me trash. So that's my memory of War Cutlass. That's a fun story. I always remember that game, that Echo player. If you're out there, I was that guy who killed you with Bower Cutlass. Okay, maybe you're watching this sometime, but yeah. Callus, they remove that and just put. I don't know. Yeah, who cares? Okay, so I need to take a drink. Gosh. Conquer. I agree with this. So after like billion years of Conquer abuse, so many challenger junglers getting abusing Conquer, most brain dead thing ever. They made it stack a tiny bit better. So 24 to 68 at max stacks now. It used to be 20.4 to 56.4 at max stacks AD. And now the healing is now 9% for melee, 6% for range, down. And it used to be 15% healing for melee, 8% for range. That is huge. I am so glad they finally made this more like Fervor, because the biggest problem with Conquer, and I hate that no one get it, was the healing. The healing is just insane. So I'm glad they finally nerfed that, and they made it more about stacks, and also like that it requires 12 stacks. Jeez. Bloodline. Good nerf on this, because this was this way too strong. And what did he say? Yeah, this time was way too strong, but also this time's more situational because Bloodthirster gives crit now. Rhythms Hunter. Less healing overall. It gives Omni Vamp instead of only healing with damage dealt to abilities and on hit effects and items. And it gave 1.5% flat. Now it gives 1% Omni, 1% and 2% per bounty attack. It used to be 2.5. Overall, I think this rune is it opens up a lot more viability to use it on like other junglers like auto attackers that don't necessarily build on hit. So and maybe don't build sustain. So maybe it's good on buy, for example. Actually, I like this a lot. I like this change a lot. So less than a sustain on abuse cases. Presence of mind. That was damage champion increases your mana gen by increases your mana gen.
by 1.5 to 11. 80% for range, mana per second for 4 seconds. Energy users gain 1.5 energy per second instead. Takedowns restore 50% of your maximum energy, mana, or energy. So they lowered it from 20% to 15%. And since you have less energy slash mana, it's not as strong. Overall, I agree with this. Present Mind was way too strong of a rune. Transcendence is a lot better now. Now it's gain bonuses upon reaching level 5, 8, and 11. Before it was only level 10. So 5 is Fire Ability Haste, 8 is Fire Ability Haste, and 11 is on Takedown, reduce the rune cooldown of basic abilities by 20%. That is insane. Very strong rune now. Cosmic Insight no longer increases your Sierra cap or grants CDR. And Item Haste, 10% Item Haste applies on all item cooldowns, including like Sheen procs. Summer Spell Haste, 5% Summer Spell CDR. 50% Summer Spell Haste. So it's ready for people, maybe even more so for laners. So it's very, very interesting. Right. Ingenious Hunter. Gain 10 item haste. 5 plus 5 per bounty hunter side. Item haste affects all items, not just actives. Again, might be very strong on Hecarim. Maybe on Hecarim, maybe now you take uh maybe you take the phase rush into Ingenious Hunter because faster machine procs very insane because you would lose some damage sometimes because you couldn't actually your Sheen proc couldn't keep up with how fast you spam your Q. Ability haste rune stat. Uh, Now gives 8 ability haste instead of 1 to 10. The scaling was really shitty on it, so it's nice that they did that finally. Caitlyn, blah, blah, they changed her credit. Who really cares? Pretty much play the same. They have changed her credit. Who really cares? Honestly, who really cares? They made crits deal a bit more better on Senna. They encourage more crit builds, and now collects Miss Soul Rates. Miss Soul Rates only spawn near Senna, so I mean, it's just like I guess quality of life, more power creep right now. I guess you consider. Ooh, sorry. I consider this a nerf. So he used to go up to 0.5% crit, so 50% crit chance. Now it's only 40% crit chance at max turn rage. Um, I would maybe even consider this a nerf because if you're going to build like Trinity Force Essence Reaver, oh, it would be kind of like you'd be stuck. You know, I don't know. It's kind of silly. It is a nerf overall because I don't know. Even though you're overlapping, it doesn't mean that it's bad. So I don't know. Whatever, I guess. It means more Trinity buffs, sure. They made some change, so excess critical chance gives AD to Yon and Yasuo. Akali, they made her Q cost less energy. The higher rank it is, Katarina, Dagger, Splash on hit effects. So pretty much everything gives on hit effects now, and they lowered everything. Who really cares about Katarina? Kale, scales more with AP or the passive. Ornn, they changed them. Wait. I'm like really hungry right now or something. My stomach's like really killing me right now. Ornn gains. So pretty much change Ornn. Pretty much functions the same. Okay, like it's pretty much the same freaking champion. You go and upgrade one mythic item. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay. Uh, Vector. Honestly, who cares? It's the same. It's honestly the same thing. Wow, more damage. Okay. Um, all these champions that build like Sheen or something or Lichbane or Tyr or whatever, they all got mana. So enjoy it. Everything's the same. Brand got nerfed for some reason, even though there's new item changes. So who really cares? Movement got nerfed because he was too OP in average play. Elisa's Q now applies on hit effects. Very interesting. Seraphine's, they're trying to make her into a mid lane. I thought she was a support, by the way. Twitch, why are they giving Twitch an AP ratio on abilities? It's kind of funny. People are going to build that AP item that's designed for dual AP bot, and now it's going to be like, oh yeah, Twitch. I guarantee you this is going to be the most abusive shit ever. Like who asked for this? Who asked for a. Hey, give Vi 100% AP ratio on her E. Why not? Like why did they do this? I don't know why they did this. This was the most questionable thing ever. Yeah, we want to see Twitch made it as. Volibear, who really cares about Volibear, honestly? They made his E do more damage to minions, and wow, who builds AP on Volibear? Who really cares? Aram, Aram. Yeah, who really cares about Aram? It's pretty much the same thing. In a season, yeah, wow, some new skins, guys. Honor rewards still suck. Honor level 5 capsules suck still. Wow, what a surprise. Well, key shards. Guess what? I have too many key shards. Oh, guess what? You can't dual Q abuse anymore. So guess what? All those challenger players and master players are going to go down to Diamond 5 where they belong. There's no more Conquer. There's no more dual Q. You know what they're going to resort to? Win trading. So, those people we thought were good are going to be absolute dog shit now, guys. Um, so that's great, great change. Now all the people, now all the unskilled players can get out because I hate everyone just dual queues, abuse, and challenger. All disgusting. Okay, they better keep the game like that. Yep, yep. Yep, and looks good. Hope you liked this video, guys. I might make another video about my thoughts about um what I think about the jungler. I'm gonna probably even play some real games just because it felt really nice. I like exploring. I like it when things are new and fresh. I really enjoy it a lot. So yeah, I might make a video about the overall what I think about the jungle because this is just about the items. So yeah, bye.